This man never seems to run out of breath. He'll be auctioning off cars for 4 hours straight without a break. 200 cars, or what's left of them, go on sale here every day just outside Sao Paulo. There seems to be no limit to what the bidders will buy. New goods arrive all the time. Each car comes with its own history. One was owned by a factory worker, a father of 2, who lost his job due to the economic downturn and couldn't meet his payments. The bank foreclosed his debt, and now others have the chance to get a good deal. A third of the cars here were repossessed. Luis Sodré Santoro enjoys watching the action. He's been in the trade for 30 years and now runs one of South America's biggest auction houses.
The curve is pointing up. I estimate that the number of repossessed cars we'll sell in the coming months will rise by 10 to 15% or even more.
Consumer advocate Marcelo Segredo answers around 180 emails from desperate people every day, and the number is growing. Either they've lost their job or their wages have been cut and the bank is breathing down their neck. Segredo is a finance specialist.
The government is trying to encourage spending. It's reduced some of the tax on cars so that people can take financing. The problem is that wages are not going up, quite the opposite. That means the government is making it easier to get credit. But that won't improve things in the long term. The debt trap will worsen the crisis.
In Brazil, you can get a loan almost anywhere. If the banks won't give you money, the small lenders might. They're especially prevalent in the malls, where the lower middle class do their shopping. They represent the largest consumer group in the country. Paying for things in installments seems attractive. But few people realize that after paying 17 installments, the goods actually cost 60% more. Everything can be bought in installments, from groceries to fuel or a flat-screen TV. The government has been encouraging new debt for years, and with it, sales of consumer goods. The trade minister says it's a valid policy, especially in these times of crisis.
30 milhões de brasileiros, cerca de 10 milhões de famílias.
In recent years, we've seen 30 million Brazilians, that's around 10 million families, rise out of the lower social classes to the next higher level. That means they have more spending power. It might not be a lot compared to European standards, but it's a big step for a developing nation. These people have needs and new possibilities to meet them. And their jobs are the least threatened by the economic global crisis.
Consumer advocate Marcelo Segredo has a different view of things. He appears on a morning TV show once a week. The subject today is car financing. Segredo informs people of the risks and criticizes the patronizing behavior of the banks. The floor manager takes the opportunity during a break to ask what he should do. His wages have been cut and he can't meet the payments for his motorbike. He says he's tried to negotiate a cut in payments with the bank, but that hasn't gone down too well. At the same time, he's already paid off 40% of the loan. Marcelo promises to look at the case.
The banks describe these repossessions as a friendly return, but there's no such thing. The bank takes the car or the motorbike and auctions it off, generally for 60% of the market value. The customer loses his car, but is stuck with the debt. He still has to pay back the rest of the money he borrowed.
Unlike their customers, the banks in Sao Paulo have not been hit badly by the economic downturn. They had no need to enter risky deals on the international markets. They earn enough in Brazil. For a loan in Britain, a private customer must pay a yearly interest of 7% on average. At the same bank in Brazil, a customer pays an interest rate of 63%. The capital ratio of Brazil's banks is higher than anywhere else in the world. They're better positioned to weather further losses, for example, in car loans. But they weren't prepared to give an interview. The auctioneers don't have to worry about their jobs. And Sodré Santoro says it is possible to view the crisis pragmatically.
It's like this. If someone has to give his car back to the bank, then maybe he'll come here and buy himself a cheaper one. Even if he's lost his job, who could look for a new one without a car? So he gives his car back to the bank and comes here to buy one which is much cheaper, and in the end, everyone is happy.
And Santoro has reason for optimism. He's one of the winners of this crisis.